I hit it.
We are going.
We are going.
This is the big 3-0, the Dirty 30.
3-0. Dirty 30. I think
Chase Watch Everything, episode 30.
You know, the time had to come eventually for this joke to die. I think this should be the episode.
You think it's going to be just the Dirty 30?
Hey, who knows what it could be? It could be very many things.
That is true.
By the end of this.
And I thought we were going to go to 50.
I feel like people would quit listening. They'd be like, what a stupid joke. I'm over it.
No.
This is no bigger than the last.
I would keep... we just keep getting bigger every episode.
Can I enhance the font size every time? It's just, like,
just blown out.
Takes up people's whole screen.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, the big 3-0.
Big 3-0. Big old 3-0.
Opposites, and it's gonna be a good one.
I'm excited.
I got a lot. I've made up for like the past couple episodes where I feel like I haven't really had a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And this week
you've been prepping me. You've been like hitting me up, like giving me the heads up, like, hey, a storm is rolling in. You know, like I've watched a lot of movies.
I have.
So.
And a lot that could be talked about.
Well, I think we should just dive right in, and I think we should just start with a nice little chunk and do the Mission Impossible movies.
Oh, you want to do it first?
I think so. I think we should start there.
Gotcha.
It's just that kind of episode.
Well, then let's just do it then.
We should. Should you choose to accept it?
And I do accept.
Okay, well then.
I accepted 8 times.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As did I. So yeah, because I know what I talked about the first 3. I think on the last episode. I talked about the first 3.
No, because you kind of talked about the first. You only watched the second and third one, though. You skipped the first one.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
and kind of just glossed over.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I watched the first.
Yeah,
one,
so we're gonna jump back.
We're just gonna talk
get back Mission Impossible from start to finish.
I feel like the first Mission Impossible, I had problems with.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. Like, the premise just didn't seem very strong to me. And, like, the reason why, it's like, so after, like, the mission goes wrong or whatever, and everyone's getting murked,
mm-hmm.
and, like, Tom Cruise is in, like, that diner or
mm-hmm.
whatever with that guy, and he's like, oh, well, we set a trap for a mole, so whoever's alive has to be it. And he's like, oh, it's a trap. But then, like, what's crazy is he ran into the other girl, like, later. Like, she found him.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, if there's a mole and she survived and you survived, well, then maybe she's the mole. And the whole time she was working with the dude and she was a bad guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, and just Tom Cruise just let it happen. He just seemed like he was surprised.
He has a soft spot for women.
He really does.
And the thing is, I feel like that is a staple of the spy genre. Like, James Bond has his soft spot for women, but not like Ethan Hunt. Ethan Hunt he's like genuine about it.
Yeah.
He ain't just trying to fuck bitches and drink martinis. Like,
shit, no. Because even like
he's too busy doing the impossible, but he just wants to love.
Yeah, he really does. That's his weakness.
Oh, every time
he would risk millions to save one.
And we'll get more into that.
We'll get into that. But even like when she ran into the room, she's like, the meetup was at such and such time. I was like, just because she knows the time doesn't mean... I was mad at how...
Doesn't mean she didn't do the crime.
Right, I was just mad at how easily he just forgave her. It just bugged me.
Hey, it happened. We all have that weakness, you know? Those certain types that get us every time. For sure. And Ethan Hunt has his.
Bad bitches.
I
can't blame them.
I feel what you're saying, though, because, there's something, because I feel like that first one is a lot more like of an espionage type.
Yeah.
Like, closer to like a Jason Bourne than a James Bond.
It was definitely the lowest risk of them all, of just the agents' names being, like, leaked. Like, it wasn't like a nuclear threat. It was just your job. You're just going to lose your job if you don't. Right. So
could spell trouble.
I guess they said it could cause wars, but
I guess
I don't know.
I guess it could. That just sounds like something you'd say to get them to do it,
right?
To make it sound a little more impossible. But not my favorite, but
necessary.
Not my least favorite. Yeah, necessary for sure. It got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no Mission Impossible movie that I hate. I'll say that much. Like, genuinely. Yeah. I enjoy them all. I do know that one of our biggest takeaways of this was like, in a day and age of binging things, some things just aren't meant to be binged, and I definitely feel that way about these Mission Impossible movies. They are better enjoyed.
Yeah.
You know, in little bites. You know.
Yeah.
You do.
I wish I would have taken a little bit longer bites, like, because I mean, I did spread it out. I would watch like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then wait a whole day, and then watch like another 2 like the day after that. So like I tried to split it up a little bit, but even then, we're just watching 2 at a time. I'm like,
for sure.
But I don't know, because then the second one kind of like, which because you talked about that one a little bit more.
Yeah.
I definitely saw what you're saying. Where it was a 2000 movie. What drove me the most crazy was the motorcycle chase scene.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so goddamn loud. I was like, this feels unnecessary. I think Tom Cruise just wanted to ride on a motorcycle. I think that's all that was.
Yeah.
But
had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
It does have that great moment, you know. But yeah, where he's free climbing and he's just like hanging there. I'm like, God.
And that's his vacation.
I know, dude. and that tracks for Tom Cruise. Like, I'm just like, goodness gracious. You know, and another thing I want to say before I forget. I feel like after watching all these Mission Impossible, and then we bled over a little bit into some other Tom Cruise, and I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling like cruising along.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe getting into more of his stuff. But I feel like I'm having this thing happen that I had happen like, I don't know, probably about 10, 15 years ago. The first time I just watched like a wave of Tom Cruise movies, and that time it was like Jerry Maguire and Rain Man and Risky Business. And I'm watching all these Tom Cruise movies. And it's just like, you know, it's easy to hate on Tom Cruise. And as much as he's made a joke and all this stuff, but like, just like happened then when I watched all those for the first time, I'm watching all these and I'm like, God damn it, I fucking love Tom Cruise. Yeah. I'm like, he's so good. I'm like, you know, yeah, he's a kooky guy.
He may be cray-cray Nans.
He may be cray-cray Nans, but he is for sure one of, like, I don't know, the last movie stars for sure. I mean, he is just something else.
Do you ever watch The Firm?
No.
That was a good one. I liked it.
Because I know we checked his IMDb and we're surprised to find out that we'd watched like a good chunk. Yeah. What did I say? From 2004 forward, I'd only missed one. Like that. And I just saw that one. So now I've seen everything from 2004 forward of Tom Cruise's. I was like, I didn't realize I was a fan like that. But hey. But as I sit here and I binge watch some Tom Cruise, I'm like, oh, because I am. Because he's fucking Tom Cruise. It's like he does what others can't. You know?
Yeah.
He puts his life on the line because, God damn it, he loves the movies. He just wants you to go to the movies.
I really want to watch Vanilla Sky. I know it didn't.
It gets shit on all the time.
It gets shit on, but that was...
But I'd love to see why.
But that was one that, that was, kind of like a passion project for him. Like, he really wanted to, push for it and get it made.
I'd love to get inside the mind of Tom
I love
Cruise.
The little backstories from the other podcasts I listen to because they talk about, all the history of shit. So
okay. I feel
get into it. So pick up a little info here and there because they also like Tom Cruise.
Well, now we're gonna have to watch Vanilla Sky.
Yes, but I definitely want to watch Vanilla Sky.
Have you seen Magnolia?
No.
Oh, I love Magnolia.
No, I haven't seen A Few Good Men.
I haven't seen.
That's one someone would probably slap me.
You can't handle the truth.
They'd probably slap me if I told them you haven't seen A Few Good. I'm sorry. I will, but
Mission Impossible.
But to keep on Mission Impossible.
It's crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was wild. It was fun. I will say that. It is fun.
100%. It is a good time, but it's not a good movie.
I thought it was wild, just like the instant chemistry that they tried to portray.
Yeah.
I was just like that.
But also,
two good looking people, but are you really just that ready to fuck? Where you're like,
I feel like in the whole series, she is the most like a throwaway Bond girl out of the whole series. Yeah.
That's how they treat it.
For sure. She's there. They got some sexy chemistry as they get involved. She joins the team.
The dramatic
and then he's just like instantly in love. We see that problem again. His toxic trait is love.
Captain Saberho.
Dude, no doubt about it. Why do you think he runs like that?
I'll promise you this. I'll value your life more than mine.
Some beautiful, beautiful lines drop.
So he's been about that.
And it's true. That tracks through the whole series.
He wasn't lying.
Which I have to say, I love a franchise that stays consistent like that. I love a franchise that, he's a
lover.
For one that like definitely fluctuates from time to time, I love that it's still pretty consistent from a character basis, for sure. Yeah. I love Ethan Hunt. When I was a kid and the first time I saw like Mission Impossible movies, I'm like, dude, this guy's the man. I was like, I love this. Like, I liked the Bourne movies at the time, but I was like, dude, Ethan Hunt's that motherfucker.
I definitely got into the Bourne series. I felt like more. I mean, granted, I've watched.
It's a different.
I only seen the first two Mission Impossible, so I've seen the other 6.
Yeah.
All within the past couple of weeks, so new fan.
Yeah.
Came around to the series. But the third one, well, just to move past the second one, is I will say, if anything, the best villain.
100%. Although, I do have some thoughts now that we finished the series.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the AI in those last 2 movies scared the shit out of me, just like Philip Seymour Hoffman scared the shit out of me.
I mean, that is true.
Not the AI's little puppet dude, but like the AI, the entity that they're. I was like, no, fuck that. It got under my skin a little bit. It spooked me. And the last time Mission Impossible did that was Mission Impossible 3. That shit's shot like a Saw movie.
Yeah, well, because like that opening scene was fucking intense.
I wasn't joking.
I felt like the payoff wasn't as good when it turned out to just be his.
Yeah.
I was like, I really wanted Seymour Hoffman to kill his wife. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's just his assistant. Okay.
Yeah. They were that close to him just being a real sicko of a villain.
Yeah. I wanted them to go there with it, but he beat the fuck out of him.
Oh yeah, dude. They said, we'll get you almost there.
He grabbed his leg and did that little punch down. I was like, damn.
You know what? In a different timeline.
He's a big boy.
As much as I love Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, in a different timeline, I would have loved to have seen Philip Seymour Hoffman play Kingpin. I could
have seen it. I could see him do it.
I think that would have been fucking cool. Have you ever seen Punch Drunk Love with Adam Sandler?
Oh, I feel like... That's one I haven't seen.
Oh, that's a good one. I'll have to let you borrow that. I'll have to dig that out.
I got my bag, so we can peruse.
Yeah, another great Philip Seymour Hoffman bad guy role for sure, and Adam Sandler dramatic role. You know how I love.
And I'm also a fan of Adam Sandler.
I love
People
dramatic
can say
Sandler.
what they want.
I'm fucking excited for Happy Gilmore too.
He hit a little bit of a lull there at one point, but you know what? I still feel like he makes good movies even now.
He's got it in him.
Even his Netflix ones scared at least a chuckle out of me.
Oh, but sure. I've gone back and watched
a huge inspiration to absolutely. That was like my intro to comedy was Adam Sandler. I used to watch like Billy Madison and
you and I would listen to the comedy albums and stuff. Yeah.
Pull out your cock and balls. But yeah, the third Mission Impossible, wild.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. The whole thing with the rabbit's foot.
The Antichrist is what they called it, or something like that. The anti-god.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg's character called it.
First time we see Simon Pegg.
Yep.
So that's another great thing. And I know in the last episode, because I left off on 3, I was like, oh, so they just bail on the wife? No, not at all.
No, very, very big.
Very prominent role in the rest of the series. So I definitely jumped the gun on that one. But no, I liked what they did with her. Moving forward. Had some good moments. But, and also, though, Luther, Luther's that motherfucker.
Luther's the man.
Other than Tom Cruise, Ving Rhames, I think, is the only other person who's been in all 8 movies.
Yeah.
And,
at least had like a little, just like a little one-scener.
For sure.
I think that's the
in
one.
4? Yeah. Because
because that's the one with
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
And as much as I love 3, unless you have other things to say about 3.
No.
I fucking love Ghost Protocol, and you know it. I do feel like I'd have to watch this like back half of the series again to like truly determine where Ghost Protocol falls, but it's been my number one for a while. It's definitely in the conversation when I'm talking top 5 action movies for me. And I just love it. I love the scene where he's climbing the fucking
side of the building.
That there are moments where, because he's doing the stunts, there are things that seem so authentic. So like when Simon Pegg is like, the rope's too short, and he's like, yeah, no shit. Like it feels like it's really coming from a real place.
Yeah,
like I'm dangling.
He could die.
Yeah, he's like, I'm dangling from this fucking building right now.
And then like hits the side of the building in his way in, doesn't he?
Yes.
Fucking madman.
Which, see, and that's the thing I like too, is like,
imagine a few inches off and he would just die.
It's like he's not invincible, like he takes hits, and I dig that about him. Like he can get knocked down, he can get it, but he pulls himself up.
Yeah.
And I dig that. I dig that about it.
It's crazy to even watch it and know that he's actually doing. I was like, it's just crazy to think. I was like, no one should do these things.
No,
these things don't even seem logically possible.
But here he is,
and this is what you're on a plane as it's like doing spins. I'm like, this does not seem like.
That seems like a bad idea.
Like that's just terrible. You should never do that. I'd shit myself and die.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just fuck that.
I feel like Ghost Protocol was also like the best blending of tones, in my opinion. I feel like this is the one where they really like just nailed right down the middle of all the tones that they were trying to go for. Like, the fun spy movie. Like, there's the humor, there's the action. Like, it was just like a good time. But it also still felt like high stakes. It was exciting,
Yeah, there was a violence.
Because then after that, I think things do get a little darker. They enter their Dark Knight stage a little bit after that, for sure.
Yeah, like with Fallout.
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation, and then Fallout.
Then Fallout, and then the Reckoning.
Yeah.
But, Ghost Protocol, I enjoyed it a lot when it first came out, and I enjoy it a lot now. It holds up.
I feel like I had a problem like with all the gadgets not working.
Yeah,
I feel like that bit got a little.
Because didn't I mention that little fun fact?
Yeah, you did. And I noticed that. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I don't know. I think it added a nice.
I liked the movie, but overall, not my favorite one.
It doesn't have to
but
be.
It's okay.
Yeah, So after that was Rogue Nation, which for me ranks pretty low.
See, I'd rank that one higher.
And I know, and like I don't know, I get it. There's just something about it that like that one feels like the driest to me, I guess. And I'm just like, not to say that there's not like a lot of exciting action moments, but it's one of those that I feel like there's so many that it starts to kind of just blur together a little bit, and it's just that one just didn't work for me as well.
I feel you.
Even on the second viewing, I'm like, I just watched this recently, and I really couldn't tell you. There's the opera scene. I know that.
Yeah.
That stuck out to me the first time, too. But, like, other than that, like, I don't even remember what the big stunt is. That the airplane one? Holding on to the side of the airplane?
Yeah, because that's how
it's like the opening
scene. Yeah.
Oh, and that's the one where he holds his breath, right? Is that one where he goes into the...
Oh, yeah.
Or was that Ghost Protocol? I don't know, because that was...
No, that wasn't Ghost Protocol.
That was a dope one, because I definitely was holding my breath the whole time. I'm like, he is a madman.
Yeah. Or was it Ghost Protocol?
I think it might have been.
It actually might have been. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. What is this Rogue Nation? I don't even know. A lot of it. He rides motorcycles again. I remember that.
He does. He does ride motorcycles.
He does bring that back around. I think that was a long hair movie. I think Rogue Nation was long hair Tom Cruise, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
No. He was short hair. I believe.
I feel like he went short hair for Fallout.
I almost want.
For sure. You can look at that. Intern.
Click. Just a Google.
The first one was short hair. Second one went long hair. Third one went back to short hair. Fourth one went back to long hair. I feel like the fifth one he played with like a medium sort of length to his hair. But 6 he went. No, I feel like 6 was the more medium one. This is the stuff people want to hear. Because then he went long hair for the last 2 installments. He's like, I know what the people want.
I guess I'd say it was medium hair.
Yeah, I know. I knew he did the medium one time.
Yeah, that was this one. Then he went short, back to short.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was alright. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I don't know. I just felt like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed like Fallout and the Reckonings.
Yeah,
more.
I didn't hate it.
I feel like Fallout's probably like
Fallout is a contender for my top spot.
I'd probably give it. I might give it number 1.
I might. Upon a rewatch, I just might because it's really a lot of fun. I know what I said about Ghost Protocol, but I feel like Fallout nails it even that much more.
Yeah,
you know, it's just like but what if we stepped it up just a notch, or 2 or 3? And I'm just like, oh shit, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I enjoyed fucking
Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
for sure.
I felt like it wasn't too much of a twist that he was the bad guy.
No,
I was just like, you're a bad dude. From the moment I met him,
for sure. You're not just a dick. You're a bad dude.
Villain, aren't you?
Yeah, I see the mustache. That is a villain mustache if I ever saw one. It ruined the Justice League. You know.
Yeah. Well. Sure. Well, it did not help. We'll say that.
Ruined it for me. That was the first thing I saw in the movie. I was like, I'm done. I'm done before we started.
Yeah, that's wild.
I think that's the first time we get Angela Bassett. It was like, I don't think she was the president yet. Maybe
she was head of the CIA.
Right. She's the president in the Reckoning movies.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Probably one of my favorite stunts in the whole franchise.
I enjoyed Alec Baldwin's character.
Yeah, for sure. Always love a good Alec Baldwin CIA.
Yeah, because I guess he went from 6 into 7, so I enjoyed.
Did he make it into 7, or did he go into 6?
No, he died in 7. No, he died in 6. He was a part of 5.
Right.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. Because I was like, they brought him back once.
Yeah. They did.
Some people get that. You know, Jeremy Renner came back the one time for Rogue Nation. He was a carryover. And then Rebecca Ferguson really hit her stride because she got to be there for the last 4.
Yeah. The only one.
Fallout was a ton of fun. The stunt that was probably my favorite in the whole franchise is that low altitude jump that they do.
It was crazy.
That was the most exhilarating thing I've ever watched. I was like, oh my God. I was like, he could have died. And for what? So I can watch this movie? Thanks, Tom Cruise.
Just so I can watch this movie. Yeah, I mean, it was just...
Plummets to the earth. Go to the movies! He means that shit, dude.
Yeah.
There was that time he went off on somebody on set during COVID. Because he means that shit. He means it from the fucking depths of his soul. He's like, we're here to make these fucking movies for these people. He's about it.
Yeah. He loves the craft.
He loves it, dude.
It makes me want to rewatch World of the Worlds.
Me too.
I guess War of the Worlds.
Well, yeah, however you'd like to say it.
Yeah, I felt like it was a real mumbled mess at first.
I want
to watch Tom Cruise.
In other exciting Tom Cruise news, the guy who made these last few Mission Impossible movies with him, I guess him and Tom Cruise have really been talking serious about doing that Les Grossman spinoff from Tropic Thunder. And
that's funny.
They've been talking about that shit since 2008 when Tropic Thunder came out. And I'm like, good. Because I would love to see Tom Cruise do something like that one more time. Because that was a blast.
You have to trust me. One more time.
Hilarious. But, yeah, Fallout would probably be potential.
Fallout is definitely up there for one of my favorites. But I felt like one thing that, like, when they were fighting or whatever, and Henry Cavill has, like, this huge gash on the side of his head, it's like, Tom Cruise, why aren't you exploiting that? Like, dude is, like, brains, like, hanging out, and you're just, like, giving him body shots. Like, what are we doing here?
Trying to pop his top.
Like
a can of biscuits.
Oh.
But, hey, Fallout's great, but you know what else I really enjoyed? Dead Reckoning.
Dead Reckoning, yeah.
I really had a good time with that one.
I did. I really enjoyed fucking the little pickpocket.
For sure.
She was I felt like she was just so charismatic. I was like, I love you. I'd let you steal my wallet.
I feel
and they had little fun little pickpocketing banter.
They sure did. It's cute. I bought
airport and shit. I was like, okay, yeah.
I bought it. You know, and really to really put the icing on top of his whole like character trait of loving people, especially women. They do 2 at once to him. You know? Almost 3, because you got to remember the wife's still out there. You know, he's still young.
And she's a big part of Fallout anyway, as well.
Oh yes, because Fallout has the go back to your husband. Yeah. I love it.
You did everything you could.
Yes.
Go be with your husband.
Luther was excellent in that movie. So many good Luther moments. That's how I knew they were going to save the Luther moment for the end of that last movie. I was like, I leaned in. I was like, oh, but we got to have Luther make us cry before we leave the theater. I left a message on there for you if you finish the mission.
He told us, "You're gonna. I'll be back."
I think I told you because I was watching one of the Mission Impossible movies, and Belle's sitting there next to me, and I just like started shaking my head, and I look at her and go, "Why the fuck would they not have him play Cobra Bubbles in the live action?"
That's
I just don't understand. Ving Rhames is the fucking shit. He made Cobra Bubbles so great. And he's so good in that. There's a reason he's the only other one that's been in all 8 movies, because he's freaking incredible. I bet they only wish they had Simon Pegg in sooner. But all that, because they have all those talks near the end. Like in those last 2 movies, they really charge up those emotional little speeches and stuff. I'm like, damn.
What do you care about the most?
My friends. And the thing is, it didn't feel corny. I was like, I buy it. I was like, I've just gone on a journey with these characters, like decades-long journey. And I buy it. That is what these people are about.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what even is the IMF? I'm like, your missions are always either a nuclear thing or the IMF is compromised. And it's like, okay, so really is the IMF just you 4 kids playing detective? Like, and that's kind of what it feels like. Especially at the end. I feel like he even says as much. Like, everybody in this room right now, this is the IMF. It's like, there's 5 of you in here. Well, and one of you's not making it out of this room. So, and I just feel like by the end of it, it felt like he's kind of rebuilding a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure. I like
trying to,
because the chick that played the pickpocket is Peggy Carter from the Marvel movies.
Oh,
yeah, and I feel like this is like I know I've seen her in other stuff, but this is the first like bigger thing I feel like I can remember her being in outside of Marvel. Yeah, she's great. I really liked her character.
I did.
I liked the train sequence. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love a good train. And of all things, I'm going to say this, then there's going to be a train. But I'm like, we haven't had a train yet.
Well, no, you cheeks. I literally was thinking the same thing, though. As soon as you brought up the train, I was like...
Any moment now. It's late, but we're on time.
Yeah, this is probably one of the earliest podcasts we've ever recorded.
Shit, maybe.
Honestly.
Maybe. But yeah.
Did you want to try to give a ranking?
A ranking?
Once we're done talking about it?
Yeah, we can try.
We can try.
Because then, we watched Dead Reckoning. Really enjoyed that. I liked whatever her name is, Palm Clementif or something like that. Plays Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
I loved her character. I'm glad they brought her back for both. I'm glad she became like part of the team. I'm like, good, like, because she's great. Another one that I like haven't seen much of outside of Marvel, and I'm like, but she's great. Like, I love her. She was a lot of fun.
She was fun.
I loved the little crew that assembled by the end of this. Like, I liked their stuff. But yeah, his 2 women thing. Because they're in the club, and it's like, well, you either got to save this one or this one. And
one of them is gonna die.
He just looks so torn up, bro. He's having flashbacks to Mission Impossible 3. He's like, no. And I mean, I was bummed that Rebecca Ferguson bit the dust, but
yeah, but it made sense.
So
she had 4 movies.
Not everybody was going to make it out of this 2-part finale.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just glad they fucked with me. They fucked with me a lot, Phil. The whole series, they fucked with me. Like, they're going to take Benji away from me.
Yeah,
and it's
Fallout was just
Luther earned his death. Like, he
Yeah.
earned it. Like, it was a sad, absolutely, but it was so earned, you know?
And it made sense for it to happen.
Absolutely. Like, it was very impactful. Like, Luther, he deserved to go out like a G.
Yeah.
And, but Sergeant Peggy's like...
He developed the thing that was going to stop the entity.
He sure did. And it worked
no
like a
one
charm.
could have done it but Luther.
He said, I got to go away for a while.
And he did.
Got sick. I was like, damn, that's some sad stuff. I'm right where I need to be, brother.
So are you.
Sob. And
you've always been on the right side of things.
always, dude, always. And that's what I'm saying. Consistent as fuck. The whole
And that's
franchise.
like what always is crazy to me too, is that like Tom Cruise has always been like 10 toes down from day one. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And then like, but then you always have like these people who are like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're like, you know,
If you fuck
or,
with Tom Cruise, he fucks with you. But if you fuck with Tom Cruise, then he does not fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like he.
Yeah. It's just crazy because it's like the one dude that was chasing him down, and the Reckonings.
Yep.
The dude's son or whatever.
Yep. Yeah.
From the first one.
Oh yes. Yeah. The way
He's
they
like,
tied everything back.
So
in.
I won't care, but you didn't follow orders. It's
Yeah.
like
That one was a little. I was like, okay, bit of a stretch, but okay.
all right.
I like this actor, so
Yeah.
Shane Wiggum is his name. I fuck with him, so I'm just like,
I'll cut up some slack. I'm just like,
okay, all right.
oh, because he didn't. The IMF was compromised and no one believed him, so he still saved the world. But he should have just turned himself in. Like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. If you're gonna acknowledge
just so that you could be John Voight's son in the last movie.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like it worked a lot better with the guy from the CIA vault that like became like a big part of the ending. Like I liked that. I felt like that worked very well.
he got transferred over there.
But yeah, that last
The
movie,
whole time that was funny.
we pulled a Nosferatu and we went at the literal last minute we could have to go see the Final Reckoning in IMAX.
Yeah.
Only Mission Impossible movie that we've seen in theaters.
And
we caught the very last late night IMAX showing, even though we keep saying we need to stop going to late night movies.
Well, I took a nap beforehand, so I was fine.
Honestly, this was one of those times where like I was so happy. Like I know last year I had like a little top 5 movie going experiences going. I put this on the list. I had such a good time going to that late night movie. It was a small crowd, but like even the reactions from the one guy who kept talking.
I will say they got a little chatty.
Got a little chatty for sure.
They get a little chatty towards around around midnight. They're just like, oh, we're just gonna have a conversation. It's like, yes, I know there's not a lot of us.
Yeah.
But there's still people here. I just shouldn't
It's
be
the
able
IMAX. You're gonna have to yell to be heard.
Yeah, but I mean, damn.
But yeah, I.
Other than that, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we went.
I am too.
Because we talked about it in the beginning of the day. I'm like, oh, are we gonna go see this movie? I'm like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
And
Almost missed
then
it.
around it was 8:00. It's like, do you want to go see this thing? It's like, fuck it, why not?
And we did it. Enjoyed it. I thought it was a great finale to everything. I felt like it.
I felt like it really
tied up.
It really wrapped up. It was probably one of the most satisfying endings to
a series.
Yeah. If you can leave it alone.
Oh yeah.
I think they will.
Yeah, I think they will.
No. Ooh. Obviously, I expect that at some point they're gonna make a new Mission Impossible for the younger generation and shit.
Like you said, give it 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it some time to breathe.
For sure. Let it cool off.
Because that's always rough too. When a series we're just gonna redo it. It's we just finished it.
Yeah.
I'm still enjoying the OG. I'm not even ready for something new.
It's true.
But sometimes that happens, and it's okay. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think so that's Mission Impossible.
That's Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible, one of my favorite action franchises. I really do enjoy it.
I'd put it up there.
Not
they're just long.
Not bingeable.
I will say that
they're not
they
bingeable, but
long,
goddamn it, they are Great movies.
Trying to binge 2.5 long movies, and I feel like there's just like a lot.
They get a little redundant.
A lot of talking.
When you're watching them back to back, it does take out some of the like. It's like it's fun to know like some of the finer details, like what all kind of ties together in the last movie, but a lot of it is like, nuclear device, huh? Yeah. Like, you know, it's like again, you know, it's just like
3 all in the same area.
Yeah, okay. It's just like okay, I feel like we just did this like an hour ago, but you know, there is a bit of that to it. But yeah, if you spread it out, if you can, you know, contain yourself, watch it over the course of some time, yeah, they're enjoyable.
Yeah, I will say that because even like, I felt like one of my favorite scenes was in Fallout when they do like the fake news broadcast to make the guy think that
was cool.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I was like, I fuck with that. That was pretty dope.
I liked it.
It threw me off because I really thought the bombs went off and that all these people died. I'm like,
I know.
This is really a fucking Fallout. But no.
I know. I was like, man, we're starting hard fast.
Yeah, I'm like, this is dark.
Yeah. I was like, damn. I was like, do we get post-apocalyptic in this Mission Impossible? That giddy look they get on their face when they're like, well, that'd be impossible. They're like, tee-hee. We can do it.
Leave it to us.
IMF, was this Impossible Mission Force? Rolls eyes. People would shit on it.
His wife laughed at him.
It happens.
What's I going to stand for? Impossible Mission Force. Seriously? Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
No joke.
But yeah, man, I love it. I do. Just to springboard off this Mission Impossible, there was another movie you and I also watched.
Yes.
That was Tom Cruise related that we both had never seen before. Right? You'd never seen it before?
Nope.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Always heard great things. Had never seen it.
A fan of Emily Blunt as well.
For sure. And I have to say, I think watching it coming off of the Mission Impossible marathon was one of the best times to watch it because, like, why I loved it so much was because Tom Cruise played a character I'd never seen Tom Cruise play before.
Yeah.
And it's like, we just went from Ethan Hunt, who's like, I'll figure it out, and things usually worked in his favor, to this guy who doesn't know shit about fuck and is like, oh, well, I'm just a media relations guy. I'm not really trying to fight, you know.
Yeah.
He's a bit of
he
a pussy.
Wasn't like
he's
the
incapable.
He wasn't like the fucking let's fuck him up.
Yeah.
Soldier.
Yeah.
Like
he didn't start at action hero level.
Yeah.
He had to work his way up to it. He was definitely more of just like a regular guy in this, and I really enjoyed that angle because it really threw me off at the beginning.
Really, he was really trying his damnedest to get out of there.
I was like, even from the first time you see him like on the TV, I was like, oh, this is how they're doing this. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then like as it kept going, and I was like, oh, he's really not about this. Like I was like, that's so crazy.
This is not his war.
Yeah, I thought the creatures were neat. I told you. I
love a good alien. I thought they were a pretty scary alien.
For sure. When there are alien invasion movies, that is something I think about. I was like, how creative is your alien? What does your alien look like? You know? That's also to say it doesn't have to be that creative. I love a good, like cliche, like gray alien.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoy. I was telling you, like, I'm always impressed how many times people can do the Groundhog Day thing and make it work. And this was one that definitely worked. It felt very different. I like the way they like kind of paced it out, where I felt like they knew when to skip ahead a few deaths.
Yeah.
And like to just give us the information in other ways and stuff. Like, the action was fun. The moment where he like gets his little ability that first time he dies, it was a little gnarly. I was like, oh my god, his face is melting off. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And he just wakes up on the bags again.
Yeah,
just crazy. Yeah,
here we go.
I love the little montage.
Oh, for sure.
Dying and getting his ass kicked.
Need a montage. Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. I do think about that a lot now when I watch movies.
I just saw that episode.
Yeah.
Which I found even funnier. Edge of Tomorrow. Any other thoughts on Edge of Tomorrow? I think it was well worth the hype. People have really hyped that movie up forever.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's well
I
loved.
thought it was pretty good. I was like, I even texted you. I was like, I love a good time loop.
Mm-hmm.
I love aliens. So I was like, I'm surprised that I knew what it was about. I knew I was getting both those things.
Right.
So I was like, I'm surprised that I just slept on it for so long. Because it's been out for a minute, right? Came out like
2014, I think.
I was going to say 16, but...
Maybe. I think
I know
it was 14.
it was the teens.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So you say 2014, I
believe
you.
so.
But yeah, here I am 11 years later, finally watching it for the first time. But
it's kind of wild to think about because it didn't feel that old, But
No.
it's like, it holds up.
It does.
It holds up. For 11 years later,
yeah.
I get the hype. Like, that was well worth all the build-up, I guess. Like I said, I'd buy it. I'd put it in my collection. I know they've been working on a sequel. So, yeah. Maybe someday. That's the thing with Tom Cruise and his sequels. He's like, we're going to give it some time.
Yeah.
Top Gun, we're going to wait fucking decades.
We're gonna get an old Maverick.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow. So I know you got a lot, so if you want to start diving through.
I guess I'll just continue with the Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Because I watched Oblivion.
Oh, okay.
And that one, I didn't care for as much.
Yeah, see, I told you, I think that one was also around that time, like 2014, 2013. Maybe earlier, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just remembered not liking it. That's the only thing I can remember about it.
I feel like I didn't really care for the twist that, like, the aliens were people.
Yeah.
And, like, he was working for the wrong side of things.
Yeah.
And how, like, all that. Like, they did kind of redeem it a little bit with, like, that they were cloning him. I wasn't expecting that. So that I was like, what the fuck is going on? Enjoyed the little fight he had with himself. But, so, it had some, like, okay qualities to it. But overall, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
Right.
Yeah.
Should I just keep on going?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll just do it this way. Another action movie that I watched was Beekeeper.
Yeah, the Beekeeper. Yeah.
And I fucks with it.
It was a good time.
I thought it was a fun little Jason Statham movie. So all right, I'm gonna burn this place down now. I just starts pouring the gas on everything. It's like, I'd leave. It starts lighting the match. Like, I'd get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm going to burn this place down.
He was crazy in that.
He was crazy.
I love an unhinged Jason Statham.
All because, and it's fucked up that they stole that money from
the old folks.
Yeah,
the scammers. That's part of the reason I love it.
And she killed herself over it. I'm like, I said, I don't think it was all that. I was like,
it was her whole life savings.
I get it, and she lost all those kids money or whatever. The $2 million, that was the big one.
Mm-hmm.
She would have.
That was part of the reason.
But the fact that she lost that was what pushed her over the edge.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I love that movie so much. It was like because of the catalyst. It's like it does feel like such a real thing. But it's nice to know that somebody like Jason Statham can go out and just beat some ass on behalf of like the elderly.
And then it's a real problem.
It really is.
I even because
that movie Thelma had like a similar premise, with all people getting scammed and shit.
And I even watched the documentary Telemarketers.
Yep.
And they talked about how like they just get some of these old people and they would just give hundreds and hundreds of dollars like every time they called. And it's just like, God damn, wild. Dude! Like it's like they would literally like lose their whole life savings just by just giving away to people on the phone and shit.
And it's like, what a great villain, because I despise these people. So it's fun to watch Jason Statham kick the shit out of them.
Now repeat after me: I will not take advantage of old people.
There's the thing with the truck. That was crazy. on the
Oh,
bridge.
yeah, where he hooked the dude to it and threw him off the bridge. Yeah.
Also, the other big thing that really works for me with that movie is Josh Hutcherson looks like he's having the time of his life playing the bad guy, and I love that for him. I felt that energy the whole time I was watching it. I was like, I'm loving his performance right now because he's clearly just having such a good time.
Yeah.
Just being such a piece of shit.
I'll fucking take care of it.
I've always dug Josh Hutcherson, and I feel like he is very underrated. Like, because I feel like he takes like on roles like this, or it's like, I don't know, that man deserves his flowers for sure. He's more than the Hunger Games.
Yeah. Oh.
If you don't have more, I
have plenty.
Oh, me, me. I've got plenty as well. I got a good. Speaking of being more than the Hunger Games, I know recently we talked about Robert Pattinson being more than his original role in Twilight, which I went and saw in theaters.
Oh
about a week or so ago. You see what I did there? Yeah. I saw a bridge, I crossed it. You know. But yeah, because we had that festival a couple weeks ago, and while we were there, I saw the sign for Flashback Cinema. I saw that Twilight was playing like the week after, I believe, and so I told Belle, I was like, "Hey, we're going on a date." I didn't tell her any details. I didn't tell her what we were doing, and she was pretty surprised when we walked up to the counter. I'm like, 2 tickets for Twilight, please. And she had a good time, as did I. I was like, you want to talk about flashback cinema? I was like, I was having flashbacks to 17 years earlier, the first time I went and saw Twilight. I was like, this is crazy right now. But no, it's one of those movies, it's easy to shit on, for sure, but there's no denying its impact on pop culture, and like people still love it. It's still huge.
I mean, that when that little franchise was going on, like people went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I saw all of them in theaters.
Yeah, I see. So that's part of what I wanted to talk about with this is that I only recently, like a few years ago, finally finished the series because I saw the first 3 in theaters, and now I think I've maybe seen all of them in theaters twice, which is crazy to think about. But I didn't see Breaking Dawn Part 1 or 2 until like a few years ago. So I finally finished it. Definitely enjoyed those. I definitely thought those were some of the best.
Yeah.
But it changed my opinion on some things because back in the day, because I told Belle, I said, it was interesting going and seeing this movie at 30 and not 17 years ago when I was a teenage boy and I'm going with all these girls who are like obsessed with these fuckers. And it's like, I got to compete with this glittery vampire fuck. And and Taylor Lautner, like shit, man. Shark Boy himself, come on. So, there's a bit of an attitude towards the movie in that sense.
He put on 50 pounds of muscle.
I feel like a lot of teenage boys are like, Twilight, whatever. I feel like
Taylor Lautner.
Yeah. But
that's funny.
Like, yeah, seeing it without that view at this point in my life and just watching it, having seen it as many times as I've seen it at this point. One, it was great to see it in a theater again. It's same kind of thing like when we went and saw South Park. Like, there are just some things that are just better in the theater.
Some are meant to be seen in
100%. And Twilight, it plays well in a theater. Like, there wasn't a huge crowd, but there's enough people. Like, it was a good time.
Fans,
for sure. People were definitely enjoying themselves. I will say this. I was surprised at the amount of men who came by themselves to see Twilight. I was like, interesting. Somebody needs to jot this statistic down. This is interesting.
Secret fans.
It's like, I see you.
One for Twilight, please.
One for Twilight? Shh. Keep it down. I said Mission Impossible. Fucking. But yeah, no, it's fun because I always love those soundtracks. Those were always my favorite part of the Twilight movie. So I was jamming the whole movie. I'm like, I love it. I've listened to the soundtrack on repeat for 17 years.
Hell yeah.
And it still holds up. The Paramore songs, Muse, great. But what was I? My opinions have changed on some things. Because another thing I was adamant about in my youth was that I was Team Jacob. Probably because, again, all these chicks liked Edward so much. I was like, and fuck vampires. I've always been Team Werewolf. I'm always going to lean more werewolf. And so I'm just like, nah, Jacob's where it's at. And then I finished the series, and now I'm like, fuck Jacob.
Jacob was kind of a fuckboy.
A fuckboy and a total creep. And I don't care how many little Twihard fangirls want to argue with me on this. It's just creepy, dude. The whole imprint thing is like, oh, I imprinted on your baby. It's like, what the fuck? And it's like, and Belle's all like, oh, well, it's fine because he's just gonna be like a brother, like a best friend to her for like 18 years. But then when she's 18, yeah, he'll probably. And I'm like, yeah, but do you hear what you're saying? It's like, is that not the same thing as like the creepy dudes who are like, I got a countdown on my phone for when she's 18? It's like, how's that not the fucking same thing?
I'm gonna fuck your daughter.
Hey,
it's like,
yeah,
whoa.
like, dude, if I was Edward, I'd rip his fucking head off. Like, you're telling me, like, my baby's just been born, and you come up to me, hand on my shoulder, just fucking being like, hey, I'm going to fuck your daughter. Like, hey, whoa, it's not that I want to fuck your daughter. I just, like, I can't help myself. Like, it's just my wolf nature. I imprinted on you. What? And it's just like, dude, yeah, what the fuck? If somebody said that to me, I'd be like, no, I'm going wolf hunting. What the fuck? Like, that's so creepy.
It definitely is creepy. I will say that.
I'm just
there's no denying it.
It's weird stuff.
I see that clip on Facebook. That one pops up a lot.
Yeah.
That scene where
That's
he's
funny.
talking about imprinting and fucking Kristen Stewart beats him up. You know.
As you should.
And then it hurt Seth or whatever, and he didn't have nothing to do with it. Like, and she felt bad. She's like, "Oh, my powers."
Do you know what these hands can do? But yeah, that was my reliving Twilight experience. We had a good time.
That was fun. I haven't seen any other in theater, so. I guess do you want me to just?
Oh, there it is.
There's that goddamn train.
Late today, real late.
Does it want me to come sooner?
But wow, no, I just mean that it comes sooner in the show.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Our times are all off.
Goodness, and you know what's going to happen now is there's going to be like 4 in a row.
I hope not. Why would you even say? Why do you put things out there like that?
Just saying. I'm just preparing you.
Oh.
Just talk about your damn movies.
So the next movie on my list is one that we both watched. Was Predator, Kill of Killers.
Oh, we did both watch that.
Yes, we did. I enjoyed it. I feel like as someone who's like a fan of the Predator franchise, I fucked with it. There were some things that I felt like I didn't really care for that we kind of talked about. Like, I really enjoyed like each individual story.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Viking story. Enjoyed the samurai one, and enjoyed the airplane one because I love airplanes. Which one was your favorite?
Which one was my favorite? Probably the samurai one.
Same.
You know,
love it.
Yeah.
Love it. A little.
And you love a sibling story. I literally thought that as it started, and I was like, they're brothers. I was like, I bet Phil loves this.
I hated that they fought with each other. I always hate when siblings fight.
But I did like the fact that like the brother went through all that and then just like cut his cheek, and it's like that's it. He was just trying to return the blow, sort of thing. Like he wasn't looking to kill his brother. So then when he like fell through the thing, he was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it is what it is. He kind of just had to accept it because then he had to fight a predator. So
yeah. He didn't have too much time to like.
But then hey, he was okay for a little bit. His brother.
Oh, a little bit.
For a little bit.
He did die.
He did die, but he hung in there a little longer.
Yeah. At least they had good closure.
Oh, they did. They had a nice little fight. Which, little fun fact for you that I learned, the guy who did the voice of the brothers was the like samurai dude from Predators.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, that's a fun fact because they even did the same little like that sword slice thing that happened in the movie, except it didn't go as favorably for him in the movie.
No.
Makes you wonder if maybe that one takes place in the future, probably, more than likely. And so they saw that one coming.
Oh, we prepared for this.
I enjoyed it. I thought the animation was cool. Like, I enjoyed it for what it is.
Yeah.
You know, for like a little series of shorts, I enjoyed it. But overall, like I just heard like a lot of hype for this one. Like people were really fucking loving on this one, like they were with Prey, but neither one of these movies have landed like that for me. Like I'm just like they're fine. Like I don't get me wrong, I like them. I think they're a step in the right direction.
I fucked with Prey.
I fucked with Prey, but I know one of my biggest things is like I wish that they just spoke their native language.
Yeah,
like, that kind of threw me off a little bit sometimes. But I get it. I get the decision.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. But I wasn't about it like other people are. But then, the reverse of that is like people weren't that crazy about the Predator. But I fucking loved the Predator. I thought that was so much fun.
Yeah, I had a blast.
Predators is probably my favorite Predator movie of all time. I fucking love that movie. Adrian Brody, all the Danny Trejo, you got all the killers on the planet. It's like it was Killer of Killers before Killer of Killers.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it was done way better. And I feel like that's why I walked away from Killer of Killers like, meh. I was like, I've seen this done better in Predators,
Yeah.
In my personal opinion. Because like you were saying, you felt like the Coliseum thing didn't really work for you.
No,
there at the end.
I just like, I don't know, and I get that the Viking lady, that's just how she is. She's just a fighter,
right?
She'll just fuck up anything. But it's like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Obviously, dude's not trying to fight you. I think you guys have bigger problems than just each other right now. And then she's like, "Oh, it's my son because he did gave her he saved her or some shit."
Yeah.
It's like, no, just some dude.
Just some kid. I think
that kind of bugged me a little bit. So there's just and those are just gripes.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't
a
short
have to
film
be
situation too, because they just had to speed things along because of the nature of a short, for sure.
They had to make her come around somehow. And so
right,
they're like, we'll just do
make
that.
her feel like this kid is her kid.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I feel a connection with you now. I see my son in you. Yeah, and then they left off with that little tease with the chick from Prey, implying that she was abducted after the events of Prey, which gets my gears turning for what Prey 2 is going to be about.
Yeah.
So,
because if they use this a little prequel to Prey 2,
I could
I'd fuck with it more.
Because I even thought about that. I was like, if this was like you said,
because it ended so open ended too.
If
That's
this was
a
prequel, and in the next Prey movie in live action, they brought all of these characters into it.
Yeah,
I could get behind that. I'd be like, okay, that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
as a nice little bridge.
Yeah, kind of like this, just giving you kind of the building blocks of what the fuck is going on.
Right.
Yeah, I could fuck with that. Because that's when it ended and with them flying off, I was like, let's go hunting, and I was like, so are they just gonna hunt them down and kill them? Or is there gonna be more to this? I'm like, what a fucking choice!
They got more to come, and we don't have to wait that long either. November, I think.
I'm excited for Badlands.
Me too, dude.
I saw the trailer. I don't watch a lot of trailers. I saw that one, and now I'm gonna be too excited because I saw it. I'm like, I can't
wait to see it in the IMAX.
I was like, this seems like it'll be interesting.
I'm intrigued by what they're doing so far with it because, like I said, they've been planting, leaving their little breadcrumbs for the new Alien versus Predator. They've been paving the way for this thing. With the success of Prey and Alien Romulus, it was bound to happen. Yeah, with this little resurgence.
The fans still like it. Let's give them
because it's sick.
Yeah,
but. With Badlands, it's the first time that a Predator is going to be the main character, the protagonist, which is interesting. And Elle Fanning's character is an android, like the androids from Alien. And I'm just like, interesting. Very interesting.
So.
And they're still planning on doing Prey 2, so it's just like, they got plans.
Good.
They got plans. Alien Earth is coming out, in a month or so.
Someone asked me if I've heard about it. I'm like, yeah, no, I saw that's a thing. I was like, me personally, not a huge Alien fan, even having watched them all. And with that being said, I will watch the TV show because it's Now, once I feel like I'm invested enough into something, like
you.
there's no, I'm not gonna stop.
I know it sucks sometimes because sometimes they're like you get burned every time. You're like, but I'm so deep.
Yeah, it's like I already watch all these. I might as well watch how they don't succeed at that point.
It becomes personal. Like you can talk shit about it, but other people can't.
Yeah,
talk
whoa,
shit.
whoa.
Hey, whoa.
Did you watch them all?
Did you watch
can't
them all?
talk
Then
shit.
shut the fuck up.
I suffered. Okay. Oh. Do you want to go? You want me to go?
What was your last one? What did we just finish?
We just
about?
did Pray.
Pray. Yep. Well, hey, I watched Wreck-It Ralph.
Did you?
Yeah, it took us a little while.
The first one, you didn't break the internet. You just wrecked it.
No, just wrecked it with Ralph.
Okay. Cool.
And
fun movie.
It is a fun movie. It's always been one of my favorites. I enjoy it a lot.
I think I came over when
we were
in the process of watching it because I was like,
you caught a little bit of it.
I was like, I can fuck with this.
Belle had never seen it before, and it was about time we rectified that. So, yeah, she enjoyed it too. It's a good time. Charlie enjoyed it. He was into it. It seemed. It holds up, man. Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah, yeah. I enjoyed Sarah Silverman.
For sure, John C. Reilly. I love John C. Reilly, man. He's one of my favorites. Like, no matter what he does, I enjoy it.
Fix It Felix.
Also in Magnolia.
Has like one of my favorite jokes.
Which one is that?
When he's when the bars are all like fucking broken.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
And he hits it with a hammer, and they become all big and strong again. He's like, "Why do I always have to fix things? Like,
Why do I fix everything I touch?"
It's just so funny. Like, I just love that. I was like, "Oh, hilarious."
People call me Wreck-It Ralph because I just be wrecking things by accident. It just happened the other day when I tripped over the baby gate, and it ripped. I fucked myself up, but the fact that I caused damage along the way just because I'm a big lumbering man, and it's just like I remember I was at work once and I just like turned wrong, wasn't aware of my size and space, and I just like put my foot through a dustpan. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, there was that one day, same job. I pulled the metal handle off of the door like butter. I was like, what the fuck? That one to this day doesn't make any sense to me. I was like, because of where it broke. It didn't break at the hinge. It just like slid off. I was like, what the fuck? And even my boss was like, I just don't understand how you did this. I was like, me neither. I didn't mean to. I just opened it like I usually do. I had my Spider-Man moment where it stuck to my hand.
Oh, that's funny.
But, yeah, Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Fun stuff. Nothing new to add to that conversation.
Oh.
I don't
know if you want me to go, or...
I got one more.
You got one more?
I got one more.
Don't let me stop.
I got one more. I watched another animated movie.
Okay.
After Wreck-It Ralph. A new one that we were supposed to go see in theaters, but we didn't. Was The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie.
Oh, yeah. We did talk about seeing that in theaters.
Yeah. And
I just saw a trailer for it.
Yeah, it is going to be on Max in a few weeks, which I'm glad. Because watching the trailer on Max, I was like, I see in 4K, this looks incredible. I watched it on DVD, and I was like, I wish I was watching this in higher quality, but that's okay.
You don't get the chance.
It was one of those that I'm like, part of me wishes we had gone and seen it in theaters just to have supported it. Because apparently, I didn't realize this. This is the first ever Looney Tunes, like fully 2D animated movie that went to theaters. Like, because all the other ones have been like live action hybrids or straight to DVD. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It was like a little buddy comedy with Daffy and Porky. They're loony. That's what they do, especially Daffy. They kept getting on Daffy for being too loony throughout the movie.
That's funny.
But I don't know. The Looney Tunes, that type of humor, it's really right up my alley. So
yeah, you do love it.
I do love it. And the Looney Tunes, they like to toe that line. They like to make some mature jokes at times. And I'm like, ooh, you went right up there with that one. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. You'll have to check it out.
Oh yeah,
when it comes out.
I will.
Short and sweet.
I'll keep that in mind when I'm flipping through Max, thinking like, what can I watch next?
What's next?
And what's next for me is the last animated movie that I've watched on this list. And it's also my next one on my list, and it's My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh, I heard good things about that as well.
I feel like I'd have to rewatch it. Normally, I don't mind subtitles, but I felt like when I watched it, I wasn't in the mood to read subtitles.
I feel you.
So, but even like the story just felt okay to me. There was a lot of screaming in the beginning that I did not care for. I'm just like...
Quiet down.
Yeah, I was like, I get y'all are moving to a new house, but you don't have to go into every room and just start screaming. And that's literally what they do. Like, ah! Like, why? Like, why are we doing this? But I'd have to give it a rewatch. I felt like I didn't really do it justice by just kind of just like, meh, watching it.
Well, a little update from the last time we talked about Studio Ghibli movies, that Ghibli Fest, it's going on.
Oh.
It's happening. It's going down.
Shit.
Yeah. But they spread it out over the course of months. So it's just like, we can catch something, I'm sure. As long as it's not in August. There's already too much shit in August. They just keep adding shit. I'm going to need a tent at the theater.
Do you have a spare room Can I just rent out the party room and just...
Right. I'd like to go to the lounge chairs, please. Just sleep in there. I could do that.
Yeah, not much. I mean, you'd think I'd like My Neighbor Totoro because it's a sibling movie.
Oh.
So it should be something that'd be right up my alley. So I feel like if I can give it more of a chance, I'd probably like it a little bit better than I did. Because so far, it's probably my least favorite Ghibli movie.
Oh, man. That's a bold statement. People might fight you for that.
Well, and they can. And I'm just saying right now, I didn't do it justice, and I will rewatch it. But as far as it stands, it wasn't my favorite. And that was Totoro. So
nice. Seamless.
I guess I'll just move on to my next movie. Should I do two?
Fire some off.
So I watched The Rental.
Okay.
And it was bad, just like you said it was. Mm-hmm. One thing that I really didn't understand is like how the landlord died from a few punches. I'm like, damn, that seemed pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever. And chick fell off the side of the cliff. I was like, damn. And yeah, I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah, it was just meh.
It was just whatever.
Meh. It just felt like it built up to nothing.
And then I felt like I would have rather them to take the time of seeing dudes set up the cameras in the first apartment versus the second one.
Right.
Because that would have been more like intriguing, like, oh shit, like what's happening here, and then to build it up that it's just some random dude. That would have been cool.
Maybe.
Cooler versus
for
like,
sure.
Because after like it was done, and then showing it, I'm like, well, I don't care anymore. I just want this movie to be over with. Like,
right, exactly.
I don't need to see this. Like, okay, he's gonna do it again. Cool. I kind of figured he didn't get caught, so why wouldn't he stop? So
a waste of some great talent.
But it is whatever. And then the next movie I watched was Clown in the Cornfield. Or that's what it's called. And that one was just... It wasn't bad. It was alright.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like waiting for it to be over necessarily, so I found it cool enough to at least check out.
Yeah. I
don't think it was like a waste of time necessarily, but I wasn't like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'll probably try to watch it around October.
Yeah, it'd be a fun time. I feel like at the very least. Want me to keep going?
Hey, you can keep going if you want.
All right. So another one that I watched was The Void.
Okay.
And that one was, I saw like the trailer for it on Prime Video or whatever. Like I watched like the little clip from it. I was like, what the fuck is this movie about? Because I was in a spooky mood, I think. And I was like, I'm going to remember this. And so I finally went back and watched it. And wasn't bad. It was definitely weird. Nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
So I'll give it that. Like, I thought some of like the dialogue was just real, like just corny.
Yeah.
Like at one time, the cop calls someone a scum fuck. He's like, "You scum fuck." I'm like, oh, I'm just like, I don't know how I felt.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the guy who made The Void made Psycho Gorman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's starting to feel.
Yeah. I started to connect the dots a little bit with that. So it wasn't bad, but it was definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting. You want me to keep going?
If you want to.
I know these are just ones I really don't have a whole lot to talk about. I feel like I watched Deep Cover.
Deep Cover, yeah, almost watched it.
Because I was a fan of the dude that played in Ted Lasso.
Oh, okay.
Was one of the improv guys.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll check it out, and it was alright. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't like as funny as I was wanting it to be. Like I thought it could have been funny. It's not that like the jokes didn't land; they just weren't like. Just weren't any real gut busters, I feel like. I was like, it's situationally funny, sure, but like it was okay. Nothing to like write home about.
Yeah.
But it was alright. I'll let you go. I'll let you get one in.
I feel just one. No, I thought this is the Philip Hazen show now. So
No. I just decided to watch 25 movies. That's my fault.
Well, I did see, because my thing is, I watched like 10 other movies. Oh my God. Thought we were going to die. We watch Attack of the Birds. We're always attacked by critters out here.
It's not trains, it's something else.
Right. We just recorded in the Wild West. Yeah, I've watched 10 other movies. I don't know if I can really talk about them or not, so I won't about most of them. But there were some standouts that I feel like I just at least want to put on people's radar whenever the time comes, that whether they come through your town in a festival or you see them on streaming eventually or whatever. One of those that I won't say much about is called American Stream. If that comes around, that one was pretty cool. I'd recommend checking that out. There was one I was telling you about that I really enjoyed called Anywhere.
Yeah.
And it was more of like a dark crime comedy. I don't even know if it's fair to call it a comedy. Maybe only somebody like me would say that. But I feel like it knew it. Like, because I told you, it felt like a Coen Brothers movie. And Sean Gunn is in it, who played Kraglin in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and stuff. He was good in it. Very intense. I really liked the way it all played out. So yeah, if you see Anywhere drop at some point, I'd recommend that. Nice little indie movie. But then this other one I saw that I really enjoyed. Probably my favorite of all of these movies I've watched so far was a movie called I Agree With You. And the whole thing surrounds like this. It's just a couple in their apartment for like a week of their relationship. And it's like the first day the chick's like, hey, I think I'm going to stay home from work. And then they have like this great day together. And then the next day she's like, hey, what if I stayed home again? And then the next day is, maybe not so great. And then the third day they're supposed to like have plans with these friends of theirs. And they keep doing this thing where they crack jokes about the friends and talk all this shit, but they're like, but they're our best friends. And it's like, they're our best friends. And, but they talk about how much their friends argue and stuff. So then like they end up canceling their plans or whatever. And what they do instead is decide to like role play as their friends that night. And so they start like arguing and pretending to be their friends and stuff. But then things take a turn when they start kind of like getting some of their own personal shit out through this. And it
becomes too real.
They start to realize that maybe they should argue. But it descends into this like layers and layers of like improv role play that they get into where they just like can't seem to just have the conversation between the two of them. So it goes from like her and him being like the best friends, and then like they wake up the next day, and he had said something the night before as the best friend that upset her, so she continues to act like the other best friend, and he's like, "Are we still doing this?" I agree with you. Was their safe word? That was their safety phrase to like stop. And she wouldn't stop, so he's like, "All right, you know what?" He storms off. He comes back, and now he's role playing like as her. And it's like and she runs off, comes back, and now she's role playing as him, and then they start arguing that way, and then it had a very sweet ending. Like really what it boiled down to was the chemistry between these two. Like literally, the opening scene is them laying in bed, and they like wake up next to each other, and the girl puts her finger in his nose, and he's like, Are you finding what you're looking for? She's like, "Excuse me, sir." It's like, "I've lost my phone. Have you found it? Or like, have you seen it?" It's like, "I thought I'd just look around in here." It's just like this cute little banter between them. And it's just like, they have such great chemistry that it really carries the whole movie. And it's short and sweet. And I was just like, I felt all the feels. It made me cry at the end. I was like, this movie is beautiful. So I agree with you. If people see it out in the wild, I highly recommend it.
I'll have to reach out to Nat and be like, "Hey, you want me to watch these movies?"
I'm saying, yeah. This one I highly recommend.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
There were some other good ones too, but like I said, I don't know how much I can say. So.
Yeah.
All of those I could find on IMDb, so I felt okay talking about them.
I feel you.
So, back to the Phil Payson show.
All right, guys, and I'm back. One movie that I watched was A Nightmare on Elm Street.
The remake, right?
The remake, yep.
Hell yeah.
And felt like it was definitely like a movie of its time.
Oh, 100%.
Of those early 2010 movies.
Yeah, especially like those remakes that they're doing too. Yeah. For sure.
I was like, okay. They did kind of throw me off because I thought the blonde chick was going to be like the main character, and then she gets murked. I was like, okay, well, I guess it's not going to be her. Yeah. And then they kind of transitioned to the other. I was like, okay, y'all got me with that one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was not expecting that.
How do you feel about Jackie Earle Haley, Freddy Krueger?
I enjoyed him. I thought he had like a really good voice for it, if anything.
When they announced that casting way back when, I was like, that seemed like a good idea. Like, I liked him as Rorschach and like all sorts of other things. Like, I think he's a really good actor. And I liked his rendition, but I don't know. I prefer a little humor with my Freddy.
Yeah. He still had like some like the little one-liners.
Yeah.
In there and stuff. So I mean, I feel like
it came off a little spookier for sure. As
a fan of like the Nightmare movies, or someone who's watched them all, I guess, because I'm not a fan of all of them. Like I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I don't think it should be shat on as hard as maybe some people do.
Right.
I don't think it was like a total piece of garbage that should never be watched. I thought it was fine, but it is what it was. It's the only Nightmare movie that I haven't seen.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I felt like the only thing that would have been nice if they would have done more like with the dream sequences.
For sure.
I felt like they just kept going back to like the basement or whatever.
Yeah, they went a little harder on the whole origin story.
Yeah,
of Freddy Krueger.
I was like, okay. I was like, I would have liked to see more like of the dream aspect of just like kind of just playing with his food a little bit instead of just like the little micro dreams that they were having or whatever, where it's like they don't know if they're dreaming or not. Yeah. It's like, okay, interesting, but that's just all right.
I feel you.
Do you want to keep going?
You can.
Another one that I watched was Alto Knights.
Alto Knights. I see. Now I got a plan, Phil.
You got a plan?
I got a plan. And my plan is to I'm going to watch all of these, like, Devils movies at once. So I'm going to wait for Sinners. I'm going to watch Sinners, Alto Knights, and Mickey 17, like, all around the same time. I
will say I enjoyed Robert De Niro's. I thought he did a good job with this one.
Yeah?
I did. I felt like the story-wise, it's a little boring.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
I felt like
it's cool if you want like a history lesson.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like a lot of like, oh, and this is like what happened and yada yada yada. I'm just like, cool. Like I get it was like based on a true story and stuff, but it felt like something you would watch like in fucking history class.
Right.
I was like, oh, this is this time period. It's the end of the like gangsters in America and stuff like that. I'm just like, that was interesting, but it was long too. I feel like it felt long.
You could watch the whole history of gangsters in America just by watching Robert De Niro's filmography.
Yeah, you sure could. He
all kinds, you know,
all different time periods.
Yeah, he's covered all the bases, I think, at this point.
So I mean, it wasn't bad. It was all right.
Yeah.
Another two that I can knock out is a little double feature. Old Grindhouse, a little Planet Terror, and Death Proof.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't gonna watch Death or Planet Terror just because I already saw it, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's a double feature experience. I was like, this is how it was intended to be watched. I'll watch both of them, and I enjoyed them. I almost will say that I almost enjoyed Planet Terror more than Death Proof.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I love Planet Terror. It's a fun time.
Yeah, it was fun. I felt like it was interesting. I felt like with it being my first time watching it, there's definitely like a lot of, I get what you're saying where it's kind of like Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, with
like,
Death Proof?
Yeah.
You mean? Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm skipping over Planet Terror.
Gotcha.
And it was just like, I don't know. I enjoyed Kurt Russell as stuntman. Like, he was a little crazy guy.
For sure.
He was crazy Nance until they started fucking with him, and then he turned into a big old pussy.
A big old pussy real quick.
As soon as they shot him, he was like,
I don't like that.
This is not fun anymore.
Yeah. Which was like his whole thing. He just got his rocks off on doing this to women, torturing and harassing them and stalking them, and with his death-proof vehicle.
Yeah. Just threw that one girl around like a rag doll.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Which I don't know if you realized or not, but that the girl that he kills in his car is Cherry from Planet Terror.
I did not realize.
Yeah.
I would have never put that together. You didn't say anything.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's wild to me. I almost don't.
But she only had one leg. How could that possibly be her?
No, no.
She's got a gun for a leg. I think I would have noticed.
So silly. You're so silly. It was the hair. Damn it! It's not the missing leg that threw me off. I know people can wear wigs and stuff, but it's just like what? Well, I'm gonna go back now that you brought playing two different roles. One thing I will say about the Alto Knights was that I thought Robert De Niro did a really good job playing two different people. Because I didn't even realize I knew he was playing two different people, but it didn't even feel like him. Like he looked so. I felt like they looked so much differently, like with the costume design and stuff like that. I was like, they don't even talk the same. I was like, they don't really feel like the same person's playing them. So I thought he did a pretty good job with that. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Well, that's the same.
So it wasn't bad. But yeah, Death Proof was fun. Like, I enjoyed it. I don't know where I'd throw it on my list of Quentin Tarantino films necessarily, but it wasn't bad. The only one I haven't seen.
It's a very talky movie, but I enjoy the
talking was good.
Like I enjoy the talks. Like that's I can get into. It's like a great hangout movie until it's a car chase movie, and then it's a fun car chase movie. I was like, it's such a weird mishmash of things, but I'm like, hey, I had fun.
Then we had to fast forward through the lap dance. I was like, you're not even gonna show me. Stuntman might get this lap dance. Like you've been teasing me for like 5 minutes because there really wasn't too much buildup of it until like it happened. I guess. Yeah, I was like, who's gonna get this lap dance? And he pulled out the lines. I was like, well, I wasn't expecting
I think they did that to even better effect in Planet Terror when it's just like all the build up and then it's like missing reel and then shit's just crazy.
Yeah, it's just like people are like hurt now, like and stuff like that. Where it's just like, what the fuck? They're having hot, steamy makeup sex, and then
too steamy. It melted the film.
It's apparent. It was a cherry bomb.
It's cherry bomb. I love her whole running gag of like being a comedian.
Yeah,
but you're not funny. That's what I keep telling everybody.
Oh, cherry.
Oh, cherry.
And then she got people to laugh. Like, you're funny. Fucking TJ loved her.
Uh-huh.
And she made old dude laugh before he bit the dust.
That's true.
He never missed, and that was crazy too. Like, of all the people that just like die, he shoots one dude like 4 times, and he just turns down, shoots him like 5 times too. I'm like, oh, can't roll all the way there, bud. Like, but
tried, misjudged, went the wrong way.
Oh shit!
I used my shots off.
I zagged when I should have zigged. But yeah, I did. Yeah, Planet Terror was. I almost I knew the whole Quentin Tarantino scene with his junk melting was like a part of it because I even asked him that's the one this happens, right? And you're like, yeah. And as I'm watching, I'm like, when the fuck is this gonna happen? Like, I didn't realize it was so late into the fucking movie. I was like, oh Jesus.
Oh jeez.
Oh jeez. Fucking. I enjoyed Bruce Willis's little
for sure. Always
pop up in there. I was like, hey, nice. He was just trying to save his soldiers.
He was a nice little twist.
Yeah.
Set him up to be the villain.
And he wasn't really that bad of a guy.
Well, he
kind of was,
yeah,
but
you know.
Yeah.
You know.
His intentions were supposed to be good.
But this is the first time you watched the double feature, so how was the intermission for you? I
enjoyed it. I feel like my least favorite one was the Nazi she-wolves.
Yeah.
I'm just like, nah.
Very Rob Zombie, though, is it not?
Yes, I mean, it is. I thought the Nick Cage bit was funny. But the nope, or the don't and the Thanksgiving were hilarious. Was there another one? I think so.
Well, Machete plays at the beginning.
And then Machete.
Yeah. Machete starts the whole thing off. Because I know in theaters, like when it was in theaters, they had a contest for a filmmaker to make a fake trailer for it, and the winner was Hobo with a Shotgun, which is now also its own movie. So a lot of these fake trailers did go on to get made, which is crazy. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they said something about the trailer for Rob Zombie's Halloween being thrown in there, and that was the only real trailer they played at the time, in the middle. I was like, well, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Because it was supposed to be coming out later that year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a little throw it in there.
A little FF for you.
Oh, yeah.
A fun factual.
Yeah.
All right, bud. What's next?
Yeah, so I have 5 more movies.
5 more movies? Well, then let me take one of those off your hands, because my last movie is a Minecraft movie.
All right.
Watched that the other night, and it was okay. It's not that I had high expectations for this movie, but I was a defender. I feel like from that first trailer that came out, I was like, I don't know, it looks like it'll be fun. As a kid who grew up on Spy Kids, I don't mind the real people in a CGI world thing. That doesn't bother me at all. And I
feel like that wasn't even my problem with it.
No, not at all. And watching it, it definitely wasn't my problem with it. I was even impressed by that at times, the way it looked. But yeah, no, the Jack Black thing is a big thing. I love Jack Black. I'm a big Jack Black fan, but somebody had to have known that this was not a good idea to just let Jack Black do his Jack Black isms the whole time.
Yeah. It got to a point where it's just and I knew it was going to happen the whole way through because you said it happened the whole way through when we talked about it. I'm just
come on.
I was like, there were some times where I'm just like, this was completely not necessary.
No, not at all. It's like you could have just said the line. Like, but you're being so like over the top with every single line that you say. We have to mine. We have to craft. We have to Minecraft. It's just like everything.
Even then, like with him calling him Gargar the whole time, I'm just like,
very, very over the top. Like and Jack Black's performance in that is definitely probably one of my least favorite Jack Black performances of all time. Like. Just too many needed reeled in. Like there needed to be some like real acting in there too. I feel like that's what made this such a meme of a movie, and they just kind of leaned into that a little bit.
Yeah,
Jason Momoa got some laughs out of me, like I said.
He got some laughs, but I even felt like I wasn't even like super crazy about his character either. I felt like I was just like.
I said some laughs, but not much else. Right. And the other characters, like I feel like I could have cared less about.
Yeah,
there really wasn't much to connect to. Really, everything felt so surface level in this movie, and I felt like I just kind of buckled in for that from the opening scene where they're just like, and here's like a whole Minecraft movie that we're not going to show you as Jack Black's just like narrating all this shit that happened to just get us to where we're going.
Right.
And I feel like they kind of did the same thing at the end, and I'm just like, I feel like they're just really like powering through this movie as fast as they can. You know?
Yeah. Oh no, it was alright. It just was one of those things where it's like, it is what. But even like watching it, like, because I made a comment, I was like, because I think he said something about like, well, it's kind of like meant for kids.
Yeah, definitely. A movie, but if I was a kid, I would have loved the show.
I'd at least say like teen.
For sure.
I'd give it like a PG-13.
For sure.
Like a good teen, because it's like there is a little bit more swearing than there's a lot of hell's being thrown around. Yeah. I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, I feel what you're saying.
But other than that, hell's not the worst word in the world.
But audience-wise, definitely geared more towards younger audiences.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah. It wasn't
like I said. If I was a younger audience, I would have been like, I could see me throwing this on for Charlie. You know,
right. And I feel like too though, like the problem is I feel like the people like who like grew up like at the start of Minecraft and like really got into it would have been like people closer to our age and like really younger and stuff like that. So I almost wish I would have got a Minecraft movie that was more geared towards like adults.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's what we would have had if Rob McElhenney had done it from It's Always Sunny, because he was in charge of the Minecraft movie at one point a few years back. So I was like that. I was intrigued for that. I was like, interesting.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, that's all I got.
And it's
getting hot out here.
And then I'll try to wrap it up as fast as I can. I watched Mallrats. First time ever seeing it.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Had some laughs. But I feel like the Stan Lee part was my favorite. Stan Lee's little cameo.
Oh, yeah. Second train.
Talking about love and all that stuff. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Toot.
But other than that, I don't feel like I really have like a whole lot to say on it.
I feel you.
So, unless there's something you want to say about Mallrats, I feel like you just.
I feel like I've said it recently on the show. I guess it's just one of my favorite Jay and Silent Bob moments. I
enjoyed all like the sketches of like the plans of like what they were supposed to do and how it's just like all written out. I thought that was cool. Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, that's about all I really have to say on it. I know it's getting hot, so
no, go ahead.
Another movie that I watched that I really enjoyed, and might be one of my favorites that I've watched on this whole list, was Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh shit! It's high praise.
I feel like I fucked with it. Because like at first I was like, this is really slow. I'm like, this just doesn't really like just like the whole like setting it up and shit. But then it's like started getting on. I'm like, damn. I'm like, is this really how we're about to do it? And they said yes, and I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm talking about like a bleak movie. I'm like, it's just.
That's what I heard. That was on one of those countdown shows I watched, the like top 100 scary movie moments or whatever. And that comes up on those top 100 countdowns a lot, and I'm just like, I need to watch this movie.
It was good. I fucked with it.
It's one I've like sat down to watch it so many times and just never pulled the trigger.
Yeah, well, because we just talked about alien movies not too long ago, and I was just skimming through, and I saw it, and I was like, you know, I've never seen this alien movie, and it was scary. It's scary to think about.
Hell yeah.
Just how fast something like that could happen.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just like fuck.
Absolutely. We had to get the house sprayed because we had ants real bad. And this whole time I've been thinking about Phase 4.
That's so funny.
And then I was really thinking about it when the guy came to spray, and he was like, "Well, I laid out some traps. It's like it's meant to kill them, but we don't want them to know that it kills them because they're pretty smart." I'm like, "Oh, you don't got to tell me, guy. I've seen Phase 4." I was like, I know just how bad it can get.
He's like, that's part of our training.
Yeah, he's like,
you have to watch Phase 4.
He's like, they're very smart. Have you seen Phase 4? I have seen Phase 4. Yes. He's like, that's why I do what I do. I got to keep them at bay.
I saw that movie as a kid, and it made me want to.
That's what I'm going to tell myself from now on. That all exterminators, especially in the ant field, is because they saw Phase 4 and they're like, we have to do something.
That's funny. That's like what inspired the guy to create like the spray, like he zapped or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. What the fuck were we talking about? The guy was talking about ants.
Oh, well, you're talking about Invasion of the Body
Invasion, yes. Okay, then that makes sense. All right. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I'll check it out.
Please do.
Rand, have you seen The Blob?
No.
Oh, we'll have to do that one in October.
But I have to wait.
Oh, you don't have to wait if you don't want to.
No,
it is available for you to watch right now.
I'll wait. Hopefully it's still available.
One of my favorites. It's one of those movies I feel like just does not need to be remade. I feel like they already remade it in the 80s. But that version, I feel like, is like, you don't need to do this again. You nailed it in the 80s.
So should I watch the one in the 80s or should I watch both?
I mean, you can watch both. I finally watched the one from the 50s like a couple years ago. It was all right. It for me, it just didn't hold up to, like, I feel like the 1980s version took the 50s version and really like took it to its ultimate potential. Like, because at one point Rob Zombie was gonna do a remake of The Blob. I'm like, okay, I'm with that. And then recently, like, I heard about what his plans were. I'm like, maybe I wouldn't have been with that. That is like so different. He was gonna make them into like, people were gonna become like zombies because of the blob. Basically, the blob was like taking over people's brains. I'm like, well, that's not fun. I just like the big blob that's going around and just fucking shit up. Like, I guess something I'd love to do, a little bucket list thing for me. I learned that there's like a festival that they do in the town where I think it's the town where they shot the original Blob, because there's a scene, they do it in both versions of the movie. But there's a scene where the Blob gets into a movie theater and everybody goes running out of the movie theater. It's this big scene. So they have an event where they show like the Blob at the movie theater, and then everybody goes running out at the end of the movie, like down the street and stuff. It's like a whole thing. I'm like, that sounds like that would be fun to be a part of.
Oh yeah. What's going on? Oh, they're just doing the Blob run.
The Blob! It's real, but it just happens to take place.
Oh God, that'd be some shit.
Wouldn't it? Didn't even watch The Blob, and we just spent a good little chunk right there.
Hell yeah.
A little sneak preview for October.
Oh yeah.
All right,
there's a lot, guys. We won't get into. We'll save it for October. Next on the list is Parthenope.
Okay. Well, A24 action?
Yes, and I try to make a point to watch as many A24 films as I can.
As you should.
And kind of like with My Neighbor Totoro, I feel like it was another like subtitle movie that I just wasn't
feeling
originally in the mood for when I started, because I watched about like the first 35 minutes, and then stopped watching it. I was getting phone calls and shit, so I was like, let me just put this off. And then by the time I got back around to being ready to watch something, I was like, I don't even feel like watching this. So I finished it the next day, and I felt like when I was finishing it, I was really starting to get into it. I was like, okay. I'm like, I fucks with this. So I don't know, maybe I just need to give that little first chunk another chance and kind of maybe watch it through its entirety again to see kind of, now that I get where the story's going, maybe I can appreciate it more, because it just felt like just a bunch of random shit happening. And I'm just like, okay, she's beautiful. I get it. Like, I just didn't know, but now it'd be cool to kind of go back and rewatch it, knowing what happens. So, but I think it's at least worth a check out. I don't think it was bad. It was a beautifully shot.
Oh, I bet it's to be expected.
Naples is a real nice area, so definitely some cool shots and stuff like that. So it's definitely worth a check out. I'll have to give it another rewatch, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
And then my last movie. This is it.
Oh shit!
This is the big shebang. Carrie.
OG.
The OG.
OG Carrie.
Never seen it, and I feel like I'd never watched Carrie. Kind of like the same reason why I never watched The Sixth Sense. It's like, well, I know what happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know what this is all building up to. So do I really need to sit here and watch it? I'm glad I did. It was actually pretty good. I was like, if I wasn't sober, I would have cried. Like, it really, like, it just was really getting to me, like, when she's at prom and Tommy's being all sweet to her. And it's like, she's just a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's just a little awkward, but her mom's a really fucking, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'd probably be all weird too. And her mom was just crazy.
As fuck.
You know, Carrie didn't ever do anything wrong.
Right.
She can't help that the devil gave her powers. Or that's
whatever.
just that she had powers.
Yeah.
Her mom equated to the devil.
Yeah.
But even like when she had like her period and her mom starts reading the about how Eve have sinned and like that's why women bleed and stuff like that. She's like, I haven't sinned, mama. Like I'm just like,
it opens on such a sad note.
Yeah.
You know, they're throwing the tampons.
She didn't know what was going on.
And she thought she was dying. Like, I've read that book at least twice. I think like it's a good one. His OG. I will say one of my biggest disappointments ever was the remake that they did with Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
Because when they announced it, I was like, oh, Chloe Grace, okay, that's a good one. And then Julianne Moore is the mom. I was like, okay, I can see it. And then it came out, I hated it. I was like, I just felt like they took Carrie, but then they were like, oh, but it's modern day. Do you hear, by the way, we keep saying Twitter and MySpace and Facebook and everybody. It's like, okay, well, I get it. Like, it's modern day Carrie, but what are you really doing with
nothing.
This movie?
It was all pretty much the same.
Yeah, and it was just kind of.
I felt like. I mean, obviously, I'm not supposed to like John Travolta's character,
right?
But it felt like such like a. Almost like an interesting choice for John Travolta to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna be this douchey boyfriend.
I mean, that was like one of his first roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slapped her for calling him dumb, stupid shit.
You should, if you haven't seen Christine, that's a.
I haven't.
That's a Stephen King one I love.
I'll check it out. I'll keep it in mind.
And Cujo, have you watched Cujo?
Yeah, I saw Cujo. That one I have seen.
That one gets me.
I saw it as a kid. It didn't scare me from dogs like it did some people, but.
Yeah, that's another one of those where it's like, I don't watch Cujo and enjoy it because I think it's a scary horror movie. I enjoy it because I think it's a good story. The ending bums me the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's such a bleak ending. I'm just like, damn. But, so that's everything?
That is all.
Well, then, let's cap things off.
Let's do it.
Like we did last time. With a little trip on down to South Park.
Yeah.
For season 5.
Friends of mine.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Season 5.
It was a good one.
great one. Landmark season. I've seen people
because I
say.
know you said that you're a real big fan of season 4. I'm like, well, just wait till season 5 because season 5 is just as good.
Great stuff. You get the introduction of Jimmy. Token gets his episode.
Yeah, is that the one where he runs away?
That's the one where he finds out he's rich.
Yeah, and becomes friends with the lions that are the jokesters.
Yes.
Yeah,
I forgot about that part of it. Lions love to tell jokes. So I love to tell jokes. They were real jokes.
Yeah, they were just always cracking jokes.
Definitely was a fun bit. I enjoyed that. Butters gets his very own episode. And then
it's Butters, that's me.
What is universally considered the best episode of South Park, Scott Tinnerman Must Die.
Yes.
And I see why it is so highly rated.
It is definitely a very highly rated.
It was a ride because it wasn't until those last few moments that I'm like,
It's the first time watching it is definitely like, what the fuck? God. Like there's no way you can expect that to happen.
Right.
You know.
And then for it to become a recurring. See, I fucking told you. I was like, we'll have 3 more by the time this is done. Because I spoke it into existence, as you said. But
well, it seems to be tracking.
I think it's because you spoke it into existence that I spoke it into existence.
Oh,
I was just saying.
Now we're just going to flip it on me. Okay.
But yeah, the fact that it becomes a recurring joke of like, I'll feed your parents to you. And,
yeah.
No, he'll do it for real. They
even make that joke in the band episode where Carbon's talking to Bart Simpson. And he's like, what's the worst thing you did? He's like, I cut the head off a statue. He's like, I killed my family's parents and fed it to them in Chile.
Oh my God.
Because those are funny episodes. But you also have Jimmy making his first appearance.
I enjoyed that, the whole cripple fight.
Cripple fight! Everyone just watching.
Good season, and then they capped it off with like the saddest shit ever when they killed Kenny.
Yeah, well, I guess they capped it off.
They capped it off with Butters, but still, like.
And then they changed his dad's name.
Kenny's dad's name?
No, fucking Butters'
dad's name. That's funny.
Because they call him Chris, and then I think after that, he goes by Steve or something like that. A little fun fact for you.
That's a fun fact.
Clean. Must clean Butters. Can't clean Butters. Must kill Butters. Like his mom going crazy. Yeah. Hilarious. It was so funny.
Some fun.
You don't want to go down that road. The introduction of that character.
Wasn't this Towley's first appearance too?
With the Gameatron 2000.
Yeah. There's some good stuff.
Sharon done that. He's just a boy.
When Kenny died, I was like, this is
so sad. Very sad.
They really ended on such a sad note with Stan showing up and he's like, did he say anything? Yeah. He said, where's Stan?
Kyle was not sympathetic to Stan at all.
No. He kept it real.
Yeah, he was just like very blunt about that. He was like, where's Stan?
Yeah. It's rough.
And then fucking Cartman fucking using the
to get his amusement park.
No, it was the Shakey's pizza.
Pizza
yes,
joint. The stem cell.
Yeah, the stem cell.
Yes, to make Shakey's pizza. Yes.
Yeah. That was a funny moment. They start saying the heat of the moment.
You hugged him.
I hugged you and cried with you.
That's so funny. Yeah.
I was in case with a friend. Cartman was. And then kept him dead. That's like the real that was like the real stinger.
For a while, I'm deep into 6 now.
Yeah.
So I'm getting there. But
one of my favorite Christmas specials is in season 6.
Oh, interesting.
Red Sleigh Down.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Well, that'll do it.
It is hot. I'm starting to sweat now.
Oh, yeah, I'm melting. I'm a puddle.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed our 30-30, and we'll keep coming back. So
keep on.
I've been Phil.
I've been Chase.
And we'll see y'all later.
Peace.